The Valley Season 2 has premiered. We got to talk about it. We got to roast it. We got to recap it and some other Bravo television news. So grab a beverage. Hopefully you're wearing something very comfy. Smash that like and let's get started.
If you like what you see, come and get it with me. I know you deserve all you want. 'Cause your heart's made of gold. But don't wait till you're old. If you want it, I get you some.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Stand-up comedian and pop culture vulture, Joleenlunzer here for another No Offense, All Offense, where we take a comedic look at pop culture news, reality television shows, trending news, just things we love to hate, things we hate to love. Remember, I'm very opinionated, but that doesn't mean that you guys can't have different opinions. You are welcome to sound off in the live chat or the comment section if you're on the replay crew. Hello. And we can just respectfully and calmly and very zen-like agree to disagree, like the Zen master herself, Tamra Judge.
That's my opinion!
It's just my opinion. All right. But remember, everything I say today is true, except for the parts that are false. Everything is alleged and for entertainment purposes only. So don't sue me. Maybe?
Allegedly.
Allegedly, but you're going to have a great time because people love me, like Lauren from Utah.
I heard actually mixed reviews on Joleen.
Oh, Joleen was excellent. What are they saying?
Thank you, Lauren. Thank you. Speaking of Lauren, you guys, so we had The Valley Season 2 premiered yesterday. Hello, everyone in the chat. Happy Wednesday. Please smash that like. Please hit that subscribe if you haven't already. And you know the drill. If you want to support the channel further, consider becoming a member here on YouTube or on Patreon, where you can get bonus content on both. Or you can send a super chat while we're live. All right. So Season 2 of The Valley. And I'm watching. So I watched the premiere with Hype Man Husband Chow. And then I watched the after show only to see that Lauren from Utah, aka Lala Kent, Sheener, and Brock are on the after show. And I'm like, what? Was anyone else going, huh? Why? Who, what, where, when, why, how, what? Okay. And here is one of my concerns about this. I have concerns, is that when Lauren from Utah was on one of her, I don't know if it was like a Amazon Live or something. I think it was an Amazon Live, and Vanderpump Pod recap show to them on Instagram. They screen recorded, and someone in her chat, she's on the after show, and they said, "Hey, Lauren from Utah. Yeah, wonderful gal. Can you believe tonight, being yesterday, is the premiere of The Valley?" And this is what Lauren from Utah had to say. And remember, she's on the after show, and she's also going to appear, I think, in maybe a few episodes as a friend of. Let's just take a listen.
Law, how do you feel about The Valley airing tonight? Should we be expecting you on our screen? Chris, wow, that approached quickly. I didn't watch season 1 of The Valley. I think I might watch season 2. It's very strange when you're watching a group of people who you actually know. It almost feels like you're watching a home video. And because you kind of know throughout the filming process what's going on, because they're living their authentic lives, so you kind of forget, like, oh, this is going to air. This is being captured. You just figure that it's like normal life and you're listening to the gossip amongst your friends. And then all of a sudden one day it's like, there's an air date, which is extremely intense. But what's nice about it is I have nothing to do with it. So like all the pressure is taken off of me. I don't think you'll see me tonight. I don't know when you'll see me, honestly. Like I told you guys, I was like 400 months pregnant, and I filmed, I want to say 4 to 5 times, and that's before it even goes into editing. So I don't know when I'll appear. I know Sheesh is involved in the mix. She's mixing. She's mixing.
She's
stirring. She's kneading the dough. She is all up in the mix. She's in the mix, which I love. But I'm actually very excited that they're going to be airing, because Alex Baskin, who's like everything he touches turns to gold. It's like the Midas touch. I think I might have to.
I have to watch it. I can't not.
Maybe that's what we should do, is go live for the Valley.
Yeah.
So that I can just lose more friends. Laura asked, did you listen to
Okay. Okay. First of all, her brother in the background. At first I was like, who is that? And I'm like, that's her brother. That's White Boy Dread's her brother. That laugh, that screech.
Allie's podcast with Nick?
Hey, what's up, producer Prince? Lauren, quit trying to make your brother a thing. Lauren's brother just pops up all the time, and I'm like, and he freaks me out. And he's like, it's bad vibes. It's just, it's too erratic. I don't like it. Anyway, Lauren is just sitting there saying, I don't even watch the show. What? But you're on the after show giving your opinion about a show you haven't watched, and you're definitely not a main cast member, so you're not, in the know of everything going on, even though you'll be like, well, they're my friends. It's my friend group. I didn't even know it's airing. What? This is your job. I'm pretty sure you got paid for that. And how is it that every single freaking time Lauren from Utah isn't going to be featured in something, but like her friends are her cast members? She's always like, I haven't seen it. Yeah, I'm not like a main cast, so I haven't seen it. Ma'am, you literally have a podcast you do with White Boy Dread's brother, and you guys talk about pop culture and reality shows and Bravo Television. You want to recap things, but you're not watching the shows? Make it make sense. It just doesn't. But she always has to say, oh my God, I'm so busy, I can't even watch that. She can't give anyone else their flowers, anything. And here she is going, oh my God, I didn't even know. You didn't know it premiered? Are you kidding me? You and Sheena are on a countdown. You're sharing a calendar of when this comes out, hoping you can get on the show. Where is your next paycheck coming from? What are you talking about? We know how you guys operate. At least Sheena will admit it. At least Sheena will go, oh, yeah, I know. And Sheena's got the time down, the date down. They shared the location with her of filming. She's doing a countdown and a timer, and Lauren's pretending she's not watching this. And I'm like, Lauren, stop. She's such a player hater in the most ridiculous sense. You're involved in this show. You're on the after show, and you're going to be featured as a friend of yelling at Jesse, I think at one point when you're 400 months pregnant, like you said. So you do care. If you didn't care about this show, you wouldn't be on it. It's not like they sought you out. I guarantee it that you were like interested in being a part of this show. Every time she does this, and I'm just like, just own it, Lauren. You know you're watching these things. You know you're plugged into these things. But it's like, I don't know if she will think she's like cool. It's very like high school. Like, I don't know. I'm like watching another show. You've probably not heard of it. It's like those people that were always, talking about bands they were listening to. They're like, I was the first person to hear of this band. And then when everyone else started listening to them, I stopped listening. So I don't even know. Lauren, stop. Stop. At least Sheena admits it. Just admit it. It's okay. We know you're thirsty. You're thirsty. You're parched. Your brother is thirsty. He is screeching in the background through his White Boy Dreads. It's just, okay. Zen. Chickenhead, thank you for the first super chat of the live. Chickenhead PK Dorkface Nearly says, yippee, I get to see you live. So good to see you, Chickenhead. Indiana Girl Jules, thank you so much for being a member for 46 months. That's crazy. Indiana Girl Jules says, I have never yelled at my TV more than last night every time Jack spoke. Oh, we're going to get there. Or just on the screen. LOL. And Lala is Delulu. Please tell RN Chell congrats. I will. Thank you guys so much. He appreciates all the comments you guys have been leaving on the last video and that you leave in the live chat. And he might be here in the live chat right now. And he just thought that was so kind. You guys are always amazing and the best. Chickenhead, thank you for the super chat. Chicken says way to tick. She had a thinking showing her kid not watching the episode last night. I was angry over the fact that child under the age of 10 should not watch an adult show. Are you saying Lauren did? Lauren from Utah, aka Lala, or Sheena did? Let me know. Right, Kylie? Lala's like, The Valley? Never met her. I don't know her. She's trying to have like her cool Mariah Carey moment, but we're just we're not here for it. Okay? You love it. It's so chic.
The My Hand in Yours tumblers. It keeps things hot and cold.
Amazing.
We have the My Hand in Yours license plate holder.
Wow. Jamie, let me just say, that is the chicest wind chime I have ever.
Thank you, darling.
So chic. It is so chic. The Valley season 2 is the chicest. And so I'm like, why even have Lauren and Sheena? Well, Sheena, whatever. But why have Lauren on it if she doesn't even watch the show? She doesn't seem to even know when it starts and she doesn't care. So I watched the after show and Lauren just looked pissed that it wasn't about her. Lauren from Utah, she looked annoyed. She looked pissed. She was sitting next to Brittany. Brittany's having quite the season already and we're only one episode in. And Lauren was making everything about her, from Brittany hooking up with the guy we're going to hear about, I forgot his name, who Jax is claiming is his best friend forever. And everyone on the cast is like, they weren't. I guess he was a hanger-on that was a security guard at one point at Tom Tom. Lala brought him into the mix and then had hooked up with him years ago. And then Brittany obviously had her hookup with this guy, which is just the biggest point of contention for Jax, because no way can Brittany get a piece. You know, Jax can have all the pieces. You know, he can just go sex up and spread STDs all over WeHo in the Valley, in Canada, and wherever else he's traveling to. But heaven forbid Brittany have a hookup, you know. And Lauren in the after show had to make that about her. She's like, there was something I didn't know that Brittany was hooking up with Julian. I think that's his name. And Sheesh knew and Janet knew and they told me, and it triggered something in me from when I was with Randall and how I didn't know he was cheating. Girl, I have to stop you 10 million times, okay? First of all, this isn't about you. Okay, hi. Also, you have this thing now where you're triggered about not knowing what's going on because Randall was cheating on you and you didn't know. Anyone could have told you because you started with him as his mistress when he was married, right? So why are we shocked that a low down, dirty, no neck, no paying producer, scammer, who's BJ's for PJs, would be a cheater? Again, Lauren never got the victim arc she really wanted. She never got the sympathy of the public like Ariana did. And so she's always reminding us how no-neck Randall, who doesn't pay his writers and is just a whole ass scammer, allegedly, has done her dirty. Okay, cool story. So Lauren also had quite a bit to say about Zach. Lego wig hair Zach. Watching this premiere of The Valley, Zach is the worst dressed Bravo person ever. He was wearing, in one of his interviews, white pants with a 2017 rose-colored bomber from TJ Maxx. Shout out to TJ Maxx, all the love. And his grandma's crocheted sweater underneath it with his helmet hair. And I can't with Zach. These are crimes against humanity, against fashion, against my eyes. What? And the guy cannot give up the skinny jeans. He can't. He's never going to give you up. Never going to look like I'm living in 2025. Like it's a mess. It is a mess. But Lauren from Utah had quite a bit to say about Zach, because we saw in last night's episode that Zach is, he's still on bad terms with Janet because of what he said, that he didn't care if something happened to her baby due to stress, if she miscarried. He was like, I don't care. And then he said he was blacked out. And Lauren from Utah was like, oh, we got gangster Lauren back. You want to get popped? Finger guns Lauren. So I made a little compilation of Lauren. Lauren is straight thugging. Like, she is just back, like, just wants to fight people. And so let's take a look at Catch a Case, Lauren from Utah, and what she had to say on the after show, Valley after show. She's on an after show for a show she's barely on. Wow. Okay, let's take a look.
Things that come out of his mouth, if he were to pull that on me, like, I'd be catching a case.
I'd be catching a case.
Like, I'm putting claws in you, dog.
Like, I'm putting claws in you, dog.
It gets my blood boiling just thinking about it.
She's going to catch a case. What are you talking about? You are a mother in the valley. I'm putting claws in, dog. I'm putting claws in. What is this woman saying? Why do we have to why are you putting us through this? We got to watch this chick who runs away and cries and is like, I don't want to be here anymore. You guys aren't me. You're saying stuff, behind people's back and not to them. But all of a sudden she's thug life. And she's like, dog, I'm going to claws down. Dog, I'm going to catch a case. What? What in the Akon circa 2006 is going on here? Lauren, one more time. One more time for catch a predator. Catch a case. Lauren from Utah.
Things that come out of his mouth, if he were to pull that on me, like, I'd be catching a case.
I'd be catching a case.
Like, I'm putting claws in you, dog.
Like, I'm putting claws in you, dog.
It gets my blood boiling just thinking about it.
What's this like? I'm putting claws in you, dog. I'm putting claws in you, dog. I'm catching a girl. Stop. Stop. Okay. Ring up your shit at Anthropology and go home. We're not doing this. We're not doing this anymore. We're not, whatever this is. We are knocking on 40's door, and we're not going to be walking around going, I'm going to catch a case, dog, because drunken Zach makes a comment. I got claws in, dog. How is she not like embarrassed? Like, I'm embarrassed for her. I'm so embarrassed for her. Thank you, Graphics, for being a member for 19 months. Graphics says, between Jax and then Dorit on Beverly Hills, I never screamed so much. It was an infuriating night of television. Chickenhead, thank you for being a member for 3 months. Chickenhead says, yes. It was Lala showing a picture of Ocean. Oh, my lordy. Chickenhead says, I can't with her. Catch a case. Get out of town. Girl, go back to Utah. Go ski some slopes. I don't know what to tell you. Go put your snowboard boots on. What? So it's so bad. It's so funny because you would think it's like satire at this point, that this woman, this damn near middle-aged white lady, catch a case, huh? Okay. Speaking of catching a case, Lauren's ex, No Neck Randall, who we discussed briefly at the beginning of the stream, he is back in the press because apparently, how is this guy not canceled? You tell me that white male privilege isn't real because it sure is. Okay. You can't tell me this is not real because this dude had a whole documentary on what a scamming ass he is. Okay. He don't even have a neck. He just got white skin and he's a white guy in America. Okay. So shout out to the Talk of Shame. How can he still work? How can he still produce things? How are people still giving him his money or their money? Los Angeles Times is reporting that the WGA bans writers from joining Martin Scorsese, Randall Emmett film project. Martin Scorsese, what's going on? Is Martin Scorsese like, is he older now and he's not realizing what's going on? Can somebody step in? Leonardo DiCaprio, get on the horn and talk. Why is Scorsese working with no neck scammer Randall? So producer and Lala Kent's ex, Randall Emmett, is being denied writers on his new project by the WGA the writers union because of unpaid compensations. And we heard about these unpaid compensations to writers and writers who spoke up and were interviewed for the documentary that was on Hulu. And this was like, I mean, a couple years ago. And here he is doing more projects. He announced a new film collaboration with Martin Scorsese. Huh? What? I don't know if there's another. I don't think there's another picture there. But my God, I'm glad that the WGA is like, hey, don't work with this guy. But what a dog. Just ripping off writers, ripping off creatives to make shitty movies. And then in that documentary, I think he was, they were accusing him of kind of taking advantage of Bruce Willis too, who we now know has a form of Alzheimer's or dementia. And just a garbage human that he is still able to work in that damn town. Okay, it's the devil's playground, right? Scammer. He's a regular scamanda. Randall. Oh my God. Yeah, 50. Like I think 50's gotta scare him again. Because this guy, horrible. I was like, why is Randall Emmett? Why is there a story in the LA Times? Why is this a trending topic? Right? Heather says Randall's the Trump of the movie industry. Really? He really is. Like, he is just a mess. Dana was in the article. They described him as a producer of low budget action films. Yeah. Where he takes advantage of stars who are living with Alzheimer's. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep, she can really pick them. We learned that Randall, Jax, because in the after show, the Valley after show, Lauren from Utah again was sitting next to Brittany, and they were talking about how they have the same type. And I was like, yeah, because we all remember when Lala probably F Jax. Remember that? While he was with Brittany. Yeah, I remember that. Oh my God. And then she's like, well, don't look at my ex, Randall, bitch. Don't look at my ex, Randall, bitch. Okay, because I'll catch a case. Catch a case. I am a Lauren from Utah, ho. Okay, do you want to get popped? I'm like, what? I'm sorry, what is going on here? The only pop I know is soda. I'm from Minnesota, and we call it pop, and I love it. Sugary goodness. So they're talking about how they have the same taste in men. And this Julian guy, apparently he was just a whole liar. Like his mother died twice, according to him. He was still married while he was hooking up with Brittany, but lied to her. And Lala's like, I wish you would have told me, ho, because I could have warned you, ho. And Brittany had to find out as she's like hooking up with this guy, Julian, who Jax says is his best friend, and it's not, that he was still with his ex-wife who he has children with, or his baby mama or something. By like a fan she met in Vegas who told her, hey, yeah, did you know that he lives with his children's mother? She's like, I'm sorry, what? What are you talking about? Bear chase. Like, she had no idea. And then Lauren had to just watch the after show, you guys. She cries. Like I was describing earlier. She cries and goes, it just triggered me, Brittany, when you didn't tell me you were having sex with the same dirty dick guy that I had sex with. Because it reminded me of me with Roneck Randall, but he wouldn't tell me. And everybody knew that he was cheating on me. Girl, you were his mistress. What? You were his mistress and proud and shitting on his wife at the time. I mean, God bless, she's forgiven you. You guys are, raising your daughters together. But no one was shocked by that. Everyone was like, they just assumed you knew. They assumed like that was part of the deal. But I guess not. But it was just really interesting to hear Lauren talk about how she and Brittany have the same taste. And we all know that she probably hooked up with Jax. I mean, right? While he was with Brittany. We saw it on the show and they're flirting and it was gross.
They not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
Yeah, she went into a dark place. It was so triggering, Bonnie. I was like, is she really crying? Are we doing this, Lauren? Is this what it's come to? Is this what throwing Ariana under the bus and shitting on Katie got you on the Valley after show to cry about no neck Randall and make something about you that's clearly not about you? And then she's like, and then when Brittany said it's the way in which Lauren pretends to care while still taking digs. Because she's mad at Brittany. She's mad at everyone because she's not a star on a show right now. And even the way I catch her, like, watch the after show, the way she like looks at Brittany, very Judge Judy. And she's pissed. And so she does this thing where she was like, and I was really triggered. But then when Brittany said to me, when you said that Julian made you feel attractive for the first time on how you felt so ugly and so fat and so unattractive, but like he gave that to you, I wanted you to have that because I know what it's like to be very attractive. So then I was like, it's okay. And I'm like, huh? This girl does not know how to be a friend. She does not know how to be a friend at all. She's not a girl's girl. You guys, it was so bad. And Brittany's like, yeah, I didn't feel attractive for a while. I didn't. And Julian, as much as he lied and his mom died 7 times while we were hooking up and he was with his baby's mother, it was still nice. It was still better than Jax. It was so bad, you guys. The after show is a hot, and then Brock is there. He's not wearing his high heels, but he's blonde now, and he's giving all these opinions. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? Does Brock know these people? Do they know Brock? He's like, well, okay, I think that that Zach is an idiot. Okay, yes, I do, and Sheena should be on every show. And we need a paycheck. So, yeah, that's what I think. Like, why is Brock there? What a weirdo. Okay. So, The Valley Season 2, Episode 1. Apparently, next week's episode is going to be cuckoo bananas. But finally, Season 2 is premiered after all of the preseason press that Jax Taylor has been doing, trying to get ahead of this horrendous season we're about to see with him. It's called Separation Anxiety. According to Bravo Television, in the description, it says, as summer approaches, tensions are on the rise in the Valley. Jax and Brittany continue picking up the pieces from their separation. Jesse and Michelle juggle co-parenting their daughter Isabella while starting new relationships. Janet and Jason are adjusting to life with a newborn, their son Cameron. And Danny and Nia, I think that's her name, are overwhelmed with 3 under 3. And soon we're going to hear 4 under 4. Oh, Lordy. Kristen and Luke are ready to keep trying to conceive their first child. And Jasmine's girlfriend, we finally are getting, a storyline for Jasmine with her girlfriend, Melissa. She's moved to Los Angeles. Okay, the group kicks off the season at Brittany's white party. Brittany has a party on a rooftop, and she doesn't invite Jax. And everyone's wearing like those barmaid peasant dresses that push up your tits and have a corset, apparently. And they're all there getting in fights. All right. So they kick it off there at the party, but unresolved drama lingers between Kristen, Janet, and Zach. And I didn't even remember why Kristen, Janet, and Zach weren't getting along, because I feel like the show I've been waiting for this show for so long that I freaking forgot already. And then when I remembered, I was like, oh, this is stupid. This show definitely could not survive just on the drama of Janet and Kristen, I don't think. I mean, maybe, maybe I'm just like so removed from it at this point that I'm like, what? What's going on? So let's break it down. Let's break it down by cast member. Let's first go to the worst dressed on all of Bravo, Zach. All right, let me share the picture here. Hi, this guy. Okay, here we go. So Legoland is back for another season. Kristen's bestie. This is the outfit I was talking about, you guys. What is this? I'm not saying I'm the schnazziest dresser, but what is this? You're on TV. Do better. Do better and do better now. Oh my goodness. Okay. Zach is back. Apparently, Zach, he had to apologize. Brittany didn't talk to him for 4 months because of what he said about Janet and her unborn baby. He was blackout drunk. He thought Brittany was blackout drunk. And it got back to Janet because he said it right in front of Jason that they were like, with stress, she could miscarry. And he's like, I don't care. I just find Zach very insufferable. I'm all here for him calling out Jax and calling him a narcissist. And I'm all here for him jumping in front of Jesse as he lunges towards the women last season and him getting pinned up against the wall. But other than that, I'm just like, right? Zach is like the black sheep of the group. He doesn't seem to fit in because he's Brittany's friend. Isn't he like Brittany's friend from Kentucky or from college that she brought to West Hollywood, and he's been clinging on ever since? I mean, this man, I found out that, I'm a Big Brother fan and I cover Big Brother every summer, which a lot of you know, and a lot of you are Big Brother fans as well. And apparently he tried to get on BB21 this season that Jerks and Mickey won. And apparently he was in line with Jerkson, aka Jax and Mickey. He was trying to get on any show. And then he just happened to hit the lottery with being besties with Brittany and then ultimately got in the Valley. But he has been on the peripheral for a while. He's been annoying with Vanderpump. You would see him in certain scenes and certain seasons. And I was like, who is this guy? And now Kristen loves him. I don't get it. I don't get it. I really don't understand because he likes to party. It's too much and then this bitch said too much shit talk. It's not my favorite. Thank you, McCoya33 for the super chat. Says, thankfully, Captain Lean team is on her game and ready to lead us through the Valley. Yes, we are going to drag and roast and all the problematics in this season and make it digestible. Okay. Yeah. Helmet hair. Mr. Zach. So he's starting off the, season trying to make amends, kind of. Listen, I know that Janet is not a fan favorite, and I'm trying to still figure out how I even feel about Janet, but I do not blame Janet for 1 minute for not wanting to be friends with this dude. I just don't. Him just even implying that I don't care if something happened to her, it's weird. I understand that Janet took that and then, turned it into Kristen said it when Kristen did not say that, and they do have this confrontation in the episode, but as far as he goes, there's a point in which I do understand where Janet is coming from, that even though it's like, Janet, do you even want to be friends with Kristen because you just tried to vilify her all last season? But okay. But I understand where she's like, Kristen, you went off and, we're really on a positive, putting forth a positive campaign about this guy. Like, he's so great after he said this about me. And Kristen says, listen, you guys are mortal enemies. And I'm like, Kristen Doty, what are you talking about? Mortal enemies. What are you talking about? Mortal enemies. Kristen said, I would assume, and I'm pregnant right now, she said. And if somebody said the same thing about me, about my baby and not caring if it survived, I would be like, yep, that's fine. Because you're my mortal enemy. I'm like, mortal enemy, Kristen. Only Kristen Doty would think of it like that. It's so crazy. Right? It's so wild to be like, I hope your baby doesn't go or that you don't care. It was just like a gross, stupid thing to say. Thank you, Elizabeth. I appreciate that. So it's like, okay. So I get where but for Janet to pin that on Kristen, like she said it, and to go on podcasts as if Kristen said that, I think is hugely defamatory. But when Kristen brought up, that is his mortal enemy. So I would expect no less from my mortal enemy. All right. So Zach is he's around, he's making jokes about oh, Nia doesn't want any alcohol, I'll take some of hers. And I'm like, oh boy, not only is the attire stale, but so are the jokes. I'm going to need Zach to bring more. Hopefully Zach's going to really step up and drag Jax this season and be a really good friend to Brittany. And if that happens, I will forgive Zach. We will move on.org. But if he's just going to give us bad fashion and tired ass reads and bad jokes, what do we need him for? What purpose does he serve? Does he own a home in the valley? Is he in a relationship? Is he what's happening? Okay. So we'll move on from Zach, even though he is, you know, he was, I mean, a pretty big, I guess, topic in the beginning here. Okay, let's move on to Nia and her little Polly Pocket husband. I forget his name. Okay, as the season goes on, I'll be reacquainted with these people. But right now, I'm just worried about Nia and then Polly Pocket husband. Polly Pocket husband, all the men on the valley annoy the shit out of me. I find them all to be annoying and insufferable. Is there one that's not? Put it in the chat if I may be overlooking. Because even when I was watching it with my husband goes, well, he doesn't seem as bad as the. I'm like, no, he's not. But I think we're going to see that he might be grabbing ass. And I get vibes from these two. It's a little trad wife feel. It's weird. I like Nia, but I don't know how I feel about him. He's like 4 under 4, 4 under 4, 4 under 4. So we hear from Nia that she wants to have another baby. They already have 3 under 3, and now they're going to have 4 under 4. And it's because, you know, I worry for Nia because that's a lot to put her body through. But she's like, you know, we know she struggled with postpartum. We know she, you know, it's been a hard road. She was I really appreciated her transparency last season, talking about that and talking about, you know, her postpartum journey and all those things. But to put herself through that again, because she says, then I can have my body back. And I don't fully, obviously I can't say I totally understand that because I'm not a mother, but I can empathize with her in that's so much that women, they give so much of themselves and their body, and with the hormones and everything going on. I mean, it's an incredibly difficult process. And I don't think women get enough empathy, get enough support, get, you know, of all that goes on to make a human, you know, and what that puts your body through, what that puts your mind through, all the things, and how, you know, that recovery looks and how postpartum looks. So I'm just worried about her having another baby with, you know, a little Polly Pocket. And they're still living in that weird ass condo in Studio City. He still wants to be in Santa Clarita. She's like, I don't want to be in Santa Clarita. And that's kind of where we're at. I feel like Nia didn't have a ton to say this episode. And, you know, it was just like, you know, establishing, you know, they want to have another baby. And 4 under 4, and look at us. And they're just, it's interesting. It's a little interesting. I like her. Him, I question. Okay. And I know that some people are probably like, he's great, Jolene, because you guys watched him on like iCarly or something. I was too old. I had aged out by then. But there's just something about him that I'm like, Simone says, I agree. We don't have enough support. I felt that way. I can, again, I've never had a baby, but just I can empathize with, you know, hearing stories from friends and family and people who are brave enough to share their journey on television. It seems as though women are just expected, like, that's what you do, have the baby and move on. And that's not how shit works. Not having enough support, not having enough understanding of all of the trauma and everything that your body goes through and your hormones and just so much. Where again, if men had to have babies, holy shit, we'd have paid family leave in this country. It would just be like, oh, let the men rest. They work so hard. But since women do it, they're like, snap back, bitch. Now get your body back. Now go back to work. You're fine. And I think there's just so many women out there who are like, they, you know, I've heard, you know, there's like this guilt of feeling, of being, you know, postpartum, because people are like, but you just had a baby. You should be so happy. Well, she's not fucking, it's not like these women are choosing to be depressed or have postpartum. Like, hello, wake up. So anyways, great for Nia, Polly Pocket husband. God bless. I'll try to be more open-minded in the future. But right now, he bores me and he gives me a little creep vibes. Okay. Anna says, baby or not, women are always expected to just get over it when we're struggling. Oh, you're bleeding for 5 to 7 days or 3 to 5. Oh, and you're in a lot of pain. All right. Well, get to work, bitch. Okay. Go swimming. Go do all the things. Go ride a horse because the tampon commercial says you can. All right. Just act like nothing is wrong. And it's like, something's wrong. My uterine lining is shedding. I think it's just time for women to just start bleeding on people now. No one is taking our body seriously. No one is taking our health seriously. I'm just going to go up and get my period on people now. Okay. That's what we got to do. That's how we fight back. Yes. Dana Maria says it's overwhelming and exhausting. I hope they have help. I hope they have help too. The ick. Yeah. He's giving me the ick. Polly Pocket is just, and he's always like, I'm as tall as I'm like, yeah, let's just free bleed all over the place. Alex G says the kids are calling it free bleed. Let's just free bleed all over the place. Go to your local establishment where there are a lot of men and free bleed everywhere. And they go, spread the love. Yeah, period on people at this point. Hear our cries. Hear our roars. Give us some days off. Why am I paying for feminine products during my period? I didn't choose this. This isn't a luxury. Chickenhead PK Dorkface Neely, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, don't think about it when it's that time of the month. That's all I can do is think about it. Yeah, they expect us not to think about it. Like, just don't. It's not a big deal. It's the biggest deal. And again, if men had their periods, our work weeks would look different. We wouldn't. They would just be getting handed tampons, Diva cups and pads, period panties, just for free. They'd be throwing them out. Here you go. They would actually probably have found a way for the period to go away and and it not to affect, your ability to reproduce, you guys. I'm sassy every day and I love it. All right. So Polly Pocket and Nia, we got that going on. And then Jasmine, obviously we see Jasmine, we see her now fiance, or are they? I think they're fianced, right? Melissa. So I think we're going to have a wedding this season, which is exciting. And they got each other rings, I think. And so we'll hear more from them. That's pretty much all we got. Apparently, Jasmine and Melissa are like the most functioning, healthy relationship on the show. And I'm like, leave it to the women, leave it to the lesbians to show us what's up. Leave it to the lesbians to drive off in their Subarus in the sunset and be monogamous and stay together, get together quickly and then stay together forever. Leave it to the lesbians to show us what love is. All right. If reincarnation is real, I'm coming back as a lesbian in my next life. I am, for sure. Okay. I'm putting it out. I'm manifesting it. So leave it to the lesbians to be the sound, sane, healthy relationship on this show. Chickenhead, thank you for the super chat. Chickenhead says, I used to be told by other women as I was throwing up in the bathroom. Yeah, exactly. Just like, don't think about it. We'll keep struggling through. No, I'm going to talk about it. Okay. I'm bleeding and I'm still doing everything you're doing and better. Right? We're not getting enough with them. I would like to see some lesbian love. Okay. We got so many toxic, problematic straights. So many abusive, toxic, straight relationships. Oh my God. I feel like Bravo at that. Why didn't we don't have all lesbian, all bisexual, all pansexual woman show of relationships and love? I'm just so over straight love. Boring. Bring a book. I'm just like, ugh. So I feel like they're not going to get the screen time they deserve, but we'll see. We'll see. Okay. Let's talk about this lovely lady. What the hell's her name again? I think it's Melissa. Is it Melissa? What is her name again, you guys? It's Jesse and Melissa, right? Ay. I just think like she's probably a Republican because that's what Michelle. That's Michelle. It's not Melissa. It's Michelle. Jolene, listen, I'll get my shit together as the season goes on. But right now she's Melissa Michelle. All right. The possible Republican who possibly had an affair with Quentin Tarantino. So her and Jesse are now donezo. They're in new relationships. Jesse said, that he was slutting around, but really he's a monogamous kind of guy. He's a monogamous American Psycho. And Michelle Melissa, the Republican, I just can't get over. I forgot. I was like, oh yeah, that was the big thing is that Kristen said, Janet said, I would never think that. I would never say that. Yes, you would. Yes, you would say that. Yes, you would say that. She has a new boyfriend. Her new boyfriend is creepy. I just have to say it. I have to say Michelle's new boyfriend is creepy. When I saw the pictures early in the episode, I was like, oh, cute. And then in person, he was like super skinny Wolverine. Not in a good way. And he just was looking at Jesse. And when he made a comment about the daughter that Jesse and Michelle share, I was like, what are we doing here, bro? No. Shut up. You're a boyfriend. Okay. As much as Jesse sucks, you don't have an opinion on his daughter, Isabella, who's adorable, by the way. I was shocked that he was just like, I don't remember what he said, but they were having, because we see throughout this episode, Jesse and Michelle talking about, co-parenting and their very toxic relationship and their breakup. And Jesse wondering if this guy, her new boyfriend, or guy who's been her boyfriend for a while, is the guy he was cheating on, or she was cheating on him with. It's like, no, wasn't that Quentin Tarantino? Wasn't that, the foot fetish Quentin Tarantino himself? Anyways, when he had an opinion, right, Cassandra? I was like, shut up. Shut your mouth. So now we have Michelle still, not a fan of Kristen. Meanwhile, Kristen Doty is befriending Jesse, where last season they were like, Jesse was so, he was so aggressive and pounding tables and chasing after people and saying that he was going to like ruin Kristen because Kristen's like, Michelle's been cheating on you. He's like, what? And he's like 5'7" and angry and raging out. Oh my God. And now him and Kristen, which we'll get to that. So Michelle has a new boyfriend. I think he's creepy. I was giving him a chance. I was open-minded, you guys, I promise. Asked hype my husband, Charles, like, oh, he's cute. I saw the picture. I was like, good for her. And then he was in the scene at the rooftop bar party, Brittany's all white party. It's like, hello, can we stop with the all white parties? That's like a Diddy thing. Do you want to be associated with Diddy, Brittany? And when he was at the bar, and the way he was just like following everyone with his eyes, and he was like, did you guys notice? Am I being... it was a lot. Oh my goodness. Jesse's a lot. So then Jesse and Michelle have a conversation at Brittany's rooftop white party where they talk about, they just decide like, hey, it's a party. Let's talk about where we want our daughter to go to school in the future. Our baby toddler daughter. And Michelle says, well, LA. She's going to go to school in LA. And Jesse says, well, I think Newport has good schools. And that's because Jesse is dating a woman who lives in Newport. So, of course, he's like, I would love to live in Newport. So you could tell that he was purposely, trying to get her riled up and talking about, because she went out and she was like, I had a meeting with this school where like millionaires and billionaires. When she was talking about that, I was like, oh my God, the millionaires and billionaires. And he goes, you can't do that because like, oh, I'm not there. And she's like, I can do that. I'm like, why can't she go have a discussion and gather information about a school she thinks her child would, benefit from going to in the future, and then bring that information to you and you guys can talk about it. So Jesse's just being ridiculous. He wants to just pick up his daughter Isabella and move her to Newport, to Orange County. I guarantee Jesse's going to try to be on the Real Housewives of Orange County with his new girlfriend. Watch and see. And then have her go to school there. And Michelle's like, I'll get full custody. He's like, no, you won't. So already they're using the child in their fights and they're just a mess. And they're both pretending they're in these new healthy relationships and they're in love and they're not. And it's going to be a mess. And Michelle's new boyfriend is weird. And the fact that he's even having an opinion about her daughter Isabella is a huge red flag. Run, run, run. And then he said something, Jesse did. He said, what did he say? He was like, I had no idea that, what did he say? It was like, I had no idea that Michelle, something that she would move on so fast, or that she would really divorce me, or something like that. And I'm thinking, I'm sorry, she was cheating on you, bro. What do you mean you had no idea? She had already pretty much moved on. There was something he said where I just thought, well, that's weird. Yeah, Mallory, the way Jesse talked about his new girlfriend too. These men, women only exist to them as props, as things they can use and benefit from. They're not like fully evolved humans. They're just tools to make their lives better. It's just gross. And Jesse also has a scene where he goes over and visits Jax. And it is just like, oh my God. Jesse, this guy. This guy is literally American Psycho. I forgot who called him that. I think it was Jason on the after show. Was it Jason or was it Tom Schwartz, or wasn't in the episode? I don't remember. But oh my God. Right? Your wife hated your guts, bro. Well, you shouldn't be shocked that she, A, has a new boyfriend since she was cheating on you, or B, wanted to get a divorce, because it seems like these two, he liked her, or, whatever, liked Michelle or was attracted to her and really talked her into this relationship, and they were both in real estate and it made sense, and really she never liked the guy, because let's be honest, what's there to like? No offense, all offense, but yeah. Let's see. Oriel says, Michelle, I can't highlight your comment. What's going on, StreamYard? Michelle called Jesse the longest one night stand. Like, she did not have good things to say about this man. So now he's in a relationship. Okay. And he goes over to talk to Jax. And he's like, because you have no emotional control. And Jax is like, well, okay, here's what happened. So we're getting right into it with Jax and Brittany, who have been separated for 9 months. And Jax is telling a tale. He's telling a Jax tale because he's a liar and a manipulator. And he needs to paint himself as the victim. And he's going to take that and run with it. And that's something that Zach said in the after show, where I was like, yes, Legoland, I like the way you're thinking with this. He's like, Jax is a narcissist. So to get the heat off him or any accountability, he'll take this one little thing and he'll blow it up and turn it into something it's not. And that is what Jax is doing with the Julian situation. He's 100% blowing it up into this big deal and saying things like, what would any guy would do this? No, any guy wouldn't do this. Any guy would not be separated from his wife for 9 months and then be banging every hoe in town. And then when she finds someone to bang, then all of a sudden you're over there checking her iPad and it just happens to be someone who's in your friend group. Bro, you're the originator of fucking people in the friend group and fucking your friends' significant others. So you can't be mad now that happens to you. You fucked around on Brittany. You treated her like shit. You were abusive. You're a cheater. You're a liar. You're a manipulator. You're all the bad stuff. And now all of a sudden he's like, oh, well, Jesse, here's what happened. I checked her iPad and she said she wanted to get back together with me. And we were going to. She asked me to hook up. Like, why would she ask me to hook up? Why would she ask me to have another baby if I'm so bad? So I see that she sent a sexy video where she was doing it with Julian, with God bless. If I was Brittany, I would be like, Julian, come here. And I would go wherever Jax is and I would do it right in front of him. I think Kristen Doty said on the after show, she was like, if I was Brittany and Jax had a brother, I'd fuck his brother. And I 100% agree with that. Jax needs all the taste of his own medicine. Jax is an asshole. Brittany should have sex with Jax's mother, his grandmother, his grandfather, his cousins, everyone he knows. Just run a train like Katie Maloney said she was going to do to Tom Schwartz through his friend group and through his bar. Put your trains, your choo-choo train emojis in the chat. Run a damn train through his whole family. Okay? Because this man is never going to change. He's never going to get the help he needs. He's a real sicko. So at this point, let's just have sex with everyone he knows. At this point. I kid, but also kind of thank you. Thank you so much, Linda. But really, I would have sex with his mother right in front of him. Be like, hi, look it. I'm your daddy now, bitch. Like that is the kind of energy we have to throw at men like Jax Taylor. Toxic, abusive, manipulative, lying, cheating, stealing, victim mentality, lying dudes. I'm your daddy now, bitch. Like that is where I'm at. Thank you guys for the choo-choo trains in the chat. Katie Kirshner, thank you so much for the super sticker. So Jax, and we're going to hear this so much this season, and we hear it in all of his interviews. Well, I mean, any man would react like this. No, Jax, any man, as it's described, would not react. Go to Brittany's, where she's at, look at, after being separated for 9 months or whatever, look through her iPad, her personal belongings, find these text messages of someone she's hooking up with, freak out on her while your son's in the other room yelling at her, and then pick up a coffee table and throw it at her, and then it hits her and she's injured. He's like, any man would do that. No, they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't. Only abusive fucks like you would do that. That is not normal behavior. That is not something you can excuse away. And he's trying to do it. And we're not going to let you, because you're an abuser. You're an asshole. You do have no emotional regulation. You don't give a shit. You're a control freak. You are terrorizing this woman. She's told us now in multiple interviews that even though you want to go out there and say, oh, I am so much better and I'm a changed person, I don't even recognize that man. She says you bother her every day and she's worried that you'll never leave her alone. And you are on her in text messages and still bringing up the Julian situation all of these months later and who she's dating. You're still acting jealous and harassing her. That's what Brittany is saying. And we believe her. We don't believe you because you're a liar. So I know you think you're going to spin some narrative and you're going to get the audience to believe you, and you're not. Whenever he brings up that any guy would do this, I'm like, no. Thank you, Adam. Adam in the chat says, this man, me, would never do that. No. Most men, I would argue, wouldn't do that. Only abusive, narcissistic pieces of shit like you would do that and handle things like that. After everything you've thrown at every woman you've ever been intimate with or had a relationship with, for you to act as though you're a victim when you're separated from your wife, who you treated like shit and cheated on and lied to, and you're already hooking up with everybody. And don't even get me started on the messages that Brittany says she's been sent and seen, like disgusting messages that you're sending to women. And then women are like, oh my God, and sending these messages to Brittany looking for help. Because we haven't even dove into that shitstorm yet. Okay. So your now estranged wife is getting some love in the club, and you're so controlling and you're such a piece of shit that you can't handle it. So you make yourself the victim in this situation where she can go off and have sex with anyone she wants. Again, Brittany, go have sex with his mother. Okay. Find a grandfather, find every cousin you can and post it. And so you are going to, like, are you that stupid to think that we're all going to be like, poor Jax? No, I'm encouraging Brittany to do more of this. You know, NYC says he can have a hero. Way off screen. Katie says, love your gold. Thank you. My daughter's soccer team is gold. I'll take this as a good omen. Yes, they're going to win all the games and have all the fun. This is an Old Navy original. This is a very expensive $7 t-shirt that I love. Yes, we're going to find out. And Brittany's going to find a thong with a baby wipe on it in the bathroom of the home where your son lives, where your baby son lives, the same home that we're going to see you tell Brittany that she has to leave the home, your shared home, your child's home, and go stay in an Airbnb so you can have sex with random hoes and you can be the slut of all sluts in your McMansion farmhouse in the Valley. Trash, boo, tomato, Jax, you're the worst. So Jax is just trying to just convince everyone, like, ugh, and then he has a scene later with Schwartz. I mean, Schwartz, sir, how dumb are you at this point? You already caped for Sandoval. Do you think this is going to help you? I mean, we already know you're trash too, but the fact that you went from Vanderpump Rules, taking up for, making excuses for, lying on behalf of Tom Sandoval while he cheated on Ariana, and then, really pushing this redemption arc for him in lieu of him having any consequences and being like, Tom, we got to help Tom. And now you're on the Valley. Like the paychecks, people really need a paycheck. It's the same situation like with Lala. Now Tom Sandoval or Tom Schwartz has to go to the Valley and befriend and be the spokesperson for another man, another of America's most hated reality TV men. Like, what? Yes, NYC. Brittany, fuck Jax's sister. Like, just do it. Just do it. Okay? If you don't know how, ask Jasmine and Melissa what you can do. Lots of things. Lots of good love in the club. And then get her permission, film it, and send it to him. All right. Then we'll really see all the coffee tables breaking. All right. But yeah, that's a good NYC. That is a great suggestion. Have sex with the sister. Yes. Cassandra, yes. Jax needs to be sent to Romania with Andrew Tate. Him and Andrew Tate can go and sex traffic each other. That would be fun. Wouldn't that be fun? Oh my gosh. So here's Schwartz, like, oh, okay, I'm at your. So we're at basically the Home Goods value Dollar Tree Five Below version of Schwartz and Sandy's Jax's Alley Bar, where he put up peel and stick wallpaper like me and threw in some shitty booths and fake plants. You're in Southern California. You can't get real plants. And you're like, this is my bar. I got a bar too. At least Schwartz and Sandy's, at least it was, it looked better than whatever Jax has going on. Jax is like the Dollar Tree of bars there, just doing the bare minimum, just like Jax does. Okay. Where Tom Schwartz and Tom Sandoval did almost too much, put too much money and paid too much attention into the decor. Jax was like, whatevs. It was literally like the clearance section at Home Goods just threw up in his bar. And he's like, it's good. Let's do it. So there's Schwartz right back in it, supporting another of America's most hated, being Jax. Good luck, Schwartz, because he needs to get that paycheck too. So he's like, I guess I got to befriend him. I got to do that. We mentioned Kristen Doty. Her and Luke are trying to procreate. Luke's like, maybe you shouldn't drink. Luke, I don't know. You should do your research because you should worry about not drinking and making sure that sperm is very healthy because we put all the emphasis on the woman. And yes, it is best that, she's in, her healthiest to carry the baby, but the sperm is such an indicator. It's your diet, everything you're putting in your body of the health of the baby. So you can't just be out there boozing, using, and losing, and then, make your deposit and be like, oh, I'm done. No, you have to be healthy because they're finding that a lot of the health of that child has to do with the health of your spooge, sir. So Luke, I'm not going to lie. I don't like Luke either. Welcome to Plathville. He scares me. What in the Amityville? I don't like it. I haven't liked it in a long time. I like Kristen, but I feel like he's fragile, sensy, bossy. She has to do that thing that sometimes we women have to do where feign yeah, you're the boss. You're the big guy. And it's like, no, I don't. Whatever, he reminds me of Ethan Plath. He reminds me of Welcome to Plathville. He just if I had to look up, if it was define mansplaining, there would be a picture of Luke. It's just, it's Welcome to Plathville. It's Children of the Corn. It's so many things, right? He gives me serial killer vibes too. Okay. He's a little too red. There's something going on there. And we've seen him, since his time on the Valley, the first season, and listening to their podcasts and stuff he said. And I'm like, I just think Kristen can do better. But, he's very sus. Okay, I'm glad that I'm not the only one. But I'm like, damn, I am struggling to like any of these dudes. But I have just given in to that. I don't like them. I'm not watching for the men. I'm watching for the women. Because these guys... Now, Jason, I guess you could be like, maybe... But now we're going to find out that he maybe takes his wedding ring off. So just throw them all away. And he was kind of making excuses for Jax in the after show and saying, well, yeah, Julian was a pretty good friend for like a year. A year? What is this, kindergarten? Stop it. You guys drank together. And Jax is like, his kid, Julian's kid called me Uncle Jax. I'm sure you asked for that. Like... Stop. He's a grifter. It seems like that Julian guy's a grifter, so he's going to do anything he needs to do. He's a Klingon to stay in the friend group, make you feel good. And he knows that you have to kind of stroke your very big yet fragile ego. So he's going to make you feel more important. So you keep paying those bar tabs. You keep paying for the Ubers. Like in the after show, they were talking about how when they'd go out with Julian, they would pay for everything because he was like a up and coming actor. What a mess. Oh God. I almost feel bad for like men, maybe like Adam in the chat. They're like, this is the best representation they have of us on these shows. So this guy, Julian, Jax's ex-friend. Because now Jax is like, I'm struggling. Who to blame? Still to this day. Brittany or Julian. But apparently in therapy I learned I have to blame myself. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that hat alone, I wouldn't trust it. So here we are. Oh my goodness. So Luke and Kristen, we saw Julian. Great. Luke and Kristen, baby. And now we see Kristen go over to Jesse's and Jesse's apologizing. And I was happy to see Jesse apologize because it was so ridiculous how he projected onto Kristen last season, how he screamed at her, yelled at her, slammed the table. But again, these are the toxic men of Bravo. And Kristen was like, thank you. Thank you for apologizing. And now apparently, according to Jesse, Luke and Kristen and Jesse hang out. And he goes to their house. He was there for the Super Bowl. And they're like buddies. Which, Kristen, I just am like, what? So long she was such good friends with Jax and dated Tom Sandoval. Now she's with Luke and now she's friends with Jesse. Like, all the yucky dudes. But okay. So here she is, and Luke and Kristen say, well, Michelle didn't apologize. So we're here with Jesse. So it seems like Jesse has ulterior motives. He's manipulative. He's American Psycho, allegedly. And he is just trying to get his kind of team assembled to go after Michelle. And that's going to be a mess this season. Kristen does have a scene, a moment with Janet when we get to Brittany's white party. And that was just a waste of time because Janet's like, I'm sorry that I lied about you. And I included you in your friend Legoland Zach's devious, devilish, hellish words and actions. And Kristen's like, yeah, you went on podcast and acted like I said it. And I didn't say anything about your baby. I may not like you, but I like your baby. And so Kristen was she doesn't want to be friends with Janet. It seems like they were good friends. I don't really understand this relationship. Apparently Janet's like, yeah, when Kristen and I had like the same enemy, we were unstoppable. The demonic behavior. Thank you, Dina. We were unstoppable. I'm like, so you guys just bonded over like teaming up on people? Okay. And Janet just came off insincere. Kristen clearly just doesn't want anything to do with her because she doesn't trust her because she's like, we had one friendship before the show started. And then once the show started, she felt as though Janet was jumping on the crazy Kristen train. And again, I really don't know if I can handle a whole season of these two fighting about the same thing. But here we are. Here we are. Yeah, she didn't seem very sorry. She definitely didn't seem very sorry. It seems like Janet really doesn't like Kristen, and Kristen's like, you don't like me. Why do you want to be my friend? And I think probably Janet just wants to exile Zach from the group. So they have their conversation. It doesn't go anywhere. Janet runs off to tell her side of it. Kristen runs off to tell hers to Luke, who's like, and then some blonde lady. I don't know if you guys noticed at the rooftop party, there was a blonde lady who was just staring at Kristen like this. Like, who can we get a name on some of these people? Oh my gosh. Anna said the Janet Kristen relationship is very similar to Stassi Kristen. Oh, up and that. I like that little comparison because it does make sense. I feel as though similar to how Stassi didn't really respect Kristen until she needed Kristen when she came back into the group. And I mean, you know, not for nothing. I mean, Kristen did have sex with Stassi's boyfriend, and that was pretty shitty. But it is very similar to that. And Janet even said, I don't know if it was the after show or the actual show, that I'm sure Kristen will, I think it was Janet this time, I'm sure Kristen will come back when she needs something. I'm just like, okay. Shine says, Janet spent too much time on Reddit and thinks she needs to like Kristen now. Yeah, because she did not get a warm reception the first season. That's for sure. Irene said, rather hang with Kristen than Janet. Janet is boring. Yeah. I mean, I'd have to agree, of course. Yeah. I mean, really, Kristen's an OG in this world. And Janet, when we see the preview for the season and Kristen yells at Janet, "You're a fan," I'm like, yeah, that's what it comes off like. You know, I was so ready to just like love Janet pre the first season of The Valley because we were, you know, Scandival had just happened. Janet seemed to be very vocal, team Ariana, and seemed like friendly with him. I'm like, oh, she seems like a badass chick. Like, yeah. And then she came on the show and I'm like, what is happening? What is going on? Mallory says Janet seems the type to need an enemy. And she pretty much admitted that, Mallory. You're not wrong. When she said, when Kristen and I have the same adversary, when we're together, we're unstoppable. Huh? But apparently, at one point, they were so close. Jason was talking about it, her Janet's husband, saying that Kristen was one of like the 4 friends that he took with him to like pick out Janet's engagement ring. So at one point, Kristen has been good friends with everybody in this Vanderpump Valley Bravo-verse, similar to Joe Wenberg, you know, Tom Schwartz's stalker. They were besties at one point. And that just never works out for Kristen. But she's really standing by her dude, Zach. So there we are. Oriel says Janet is a jealous friend. I mean, it seems like it. It seems like she had a plan to take down Kristen that first season, and it backfired on her. And she thought the audience would be anti-Kristen, but the way she was behaving made us cheer for Kristen more. So we'll see. We'll see. Okay. So that's going on with Kristen. Kristen is, you know, having Brittany's back, and we are hearing that that Kristen has seen, she said, Jax treat everyone he's ever dated and the women in his life like shit, but she said she's never seen him treat someone as bad as he's treated Brittany, which says a lot because Kristen has seen it all. So, oh my goodness, I am just yuck. Jax, you're trash. Okay, let's see. Who do we have here? Okay, we talked about them. Let's see. We have a picture of all the ladies here. So this is Brittany's white party. Now, Brittany is, you know, she is in quite the situation now with separating from Jax and his volatility, his abuse, his harassment of her. She, you know, is out at the plant store with Janet, and Jax is just blowing up her phone because Jax needs to control Brittany. Jax is a real sicko. and Brittany is icing him out. And despite having these moments where she may have in this process, maybe hooked up with him or went back, Jax wants to take those moments and use it and weaponize it against Brittany as if she's a liar. But Jax, you're her husband. So the fact that Brittany has a soft spot for you and tried to make it work or would call you randomly to hook up, you were her husband. So I don't look down on Brittany for that. I think everyone, probably every woman in this chat, and I don't want to speak for all of you, but most women in this chat can probably relate to a time or a relationship or a marriage, if you're now divorced, where it's that familiarity, it's that love you had for that person. Even if it was a bad situation, you might have went back and been like, looked for that, connection, or looked for that physical support, or wanted to hook up again, because that was your person. And then now you look back and you're like, ew, gross. But we're not like, oh yes, Jax, that's the smoking gun. I can't believe Brittany, during a very tumultuous breakup and separation and now divorce, where you share a child, would have like soft feelings to you after you've manipulated her, gaslighted her, love bombed her, and want to bang you again a few times. What a bitch. Jax, you're a fucking idiot. Most women watching the show can relate to this. And if it hasn't happened to them, they can empathize with Brittany that's her husband. And she wants to try to, make it work, and you have these moments of weakness. It's just like, shut up. Right? And especially for a battered woman. Oh, this guy. So Brittany is, we'll see. Well, Jax is apparently, episode 2 is going to be just awful. And we're going to see even more of Jax and his craziness and how abusive he is towards Brittany. And I'm just like, oh my God. Poor Brittany. I'm glad she had this white party, even though white parties are lame, allegedly. And she didn't invite Jax. And she's making these boundaries, but he's getting really pissed, to the point where when he's meeting with Schwartz, he's pretending he's crying. Like, I really messed up. And Schwartz is like, yeah, you're really, I made a rock bottom. Jax does not really think he hit rock bottom. Jax is looking for sympathy at every corner. He's just going to lie and manipulate. That's what he does. That's what he's always done. And he was trying to squeeze out tears. And I'm like, sir, it would be better for you just to admit you don't give a shit than to try to squeeze out these tears. You can't manipulate the fans anymore or people. Like, now you're 60 years old, and we've watched you do this on reality television for 20 years. We know your game. We know what you're doing. It's not working. You're not smart. You're not smart enough. Back in the day on Vanderpump, I mean, you weren't smart then either, but we were like, whatever. We didn't really think about it that much, I guess. But now we've seen you do it. We've seen a pattern of behavior. This is who this person is. You're not tricking anybody. He's really trying to, though. He's throwing everything out there to try to win fan approval and try to make Brittany the villain in the story. But the only villain is you, bro. We're just worried about Brittany and Cruz. Thank you, Katie, for the super chat. It was, yes, I was like, if anything, like Cammie saying, it was the worst acting from Jax. It was so bad. I mean, maybe the first 3 times, I don't know, back in the day, or the first 100 times that you were like, I really gotta, fix myself. I'm really working on myself. We were like, okay, whatever, cool. But now there's like a child involved, and it's like the same line you've been using for 20 years on reality TV, or however long you've been on reality TV. It seems like forever. And you think it's still going to work, and it's not. We don't believe you, bro. And he's like, I know, and she deserves better. But why did she stay with me? If you watch the after show, why did she want to have another baby with me? What? It's just classic. Every statement, every move he makes is just classic cliched abuse. He's just a fucking monster. And this is just, none of this is working. None of this pretend, sadness and acting. No one believes you, dude.
In every generation, there is a chosen one. She alone will stand against the vampires, the demons, and the forces of darkness. She is the Slayer.
It's so gross, graphics. It's so gross. And let me get into the comments. So that pretty much wrapped up the episode on Brittany's white party. Lots of fights happening. Jax has got Schwartz there to help him through this. And again, Schwartz, oh my God, look at my cats. Just when you think all is wrong in the world and Jax and the evil toxic men of Bravo and the narcs are ruining it, look at these fucking beautiful beast beauties right here. I'm gonna cry. Like, they're so fucking cute. Producer Prince and producer Cordelia. Like, this is how we know that the world is ultimately a good place. It's sweet kitties, right? Oh my God, kitties. Oh my God, I love you. But Jax can go to hell. He can go to all the hells, right? I'm obsessed with my own cats. And then I have a dog here. And my other two dogs are in the office by my husband. But oh my God, how did I get so lucky? Look at these babies. I wish I had a Zoom feature. Oh my God, I just started ovulating and I shouldn't be. No. Okay. So let me jump in the comments and see what you guys are saying. Next week is going to be an abomination, and we'll be here and we'll be roasting it and recapping it. Mallory says, I watched the first 7 minutes of the next episode. Where do we watch the first 7 minutes? And it ends with Jax asking Kristen after explaining how he abused Brittany, what about me? Oh, Jesus. Oh my God. Yuck. Yuck. I feel like I'm living the life, NYC. When my fur babies are around me, I'm like, how did I get so lucky? I regularly say that to Chal since we got the new couch, you guys know, from on my birthday. Now we can all fit on this huge sectional from Cozy. And I'm just, they're all there and I'm like, I love this zoo. I love this zoo. Okay, Bravo's YouTube has it. Okay, I'm gonna have to watch it and I'll react to it tomorrow. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna have to look at that. Yeah, we want Jax to rot in hell, Tracy. Just rot in hell. Sandy says, when Jax talks on screen, I say, blah, 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 shut up. I'm like, boo, tomato, tomato, tomato. Ew, run in traffic. Go fuck his sister. Like, I just want all of the bad things in the world to happen to Jax and only Jax. He's such a monster. He sucks so bad. I did show my couch, Bonnie. Where did I show it? Well, I showed it on a live. Did I post a picture? I'll have to do that maybe on the community tab. But I showed the short of, did I show the couch? I feel like I did. But I think I showed it during a live. So it's a good sneak peek. Okay. NYC says, reminds me of my last 4 exes. Jax, he's a lesson. He is, yeah. So anybody watching, I mean, anyone, apparently Jax is dating someone. Dave, are you okay? We got our little cone head baby Dave, who's I think just running his cone and stuff back there. Leslie says Jax always has me wanting to scream at the TV, right? Totally. Oh, so apparently Jax is dating someone, you guys. And women, we need to talk. Ladies, please. This is a PSA. Okay, we're never wrong over here. All right, we called it with the way Carolyn and Sandoval's friendship broke up from Traders. I mean, we're very smart over here on the Lean team. And don't date Jax. He's not unless you are just there to use and abuse him. Please don't put yourself in this situation. He's an abusive, narcissistic asshole. But apparently He is, according to Us Weekly, he was spotted with an esthetician. Of course, he's going to find some free Botox. Jessica Pexon. Jessica Pexon, if you're watching, if someone knows her, if you could send this to her. Jessica, I'm worried about you. I'm going to put out an Amber Alert for you or something. You're not safe. This man is trouble with a capital T. Don't date him and do not give him free Botox. Unless you're going to inject him with something else, you know, unless you're just trolling him and you are, you know, you're an op here to give him what he deserves. Run just as fast as you can. Definitely don't have sex with him because he's going to give you all the diseases allegedly. Okay. We joke. We're true. We joke. We kid. But also, come on. You deserve better. Jessica Pexon, according to, I got to look it up now because I saw it on Instagram. Okay. Let's see. Jax Taylor, Jessica, and they give her full name, which is like, girl, change your name. All right. Let's take, what is going on here? Shout out to Reality Blurb. Oh, and I have one more thing I got to show you guys. Okay. Let me show you this. Jessica, I'm going to just so I can sleep at night. I think that this is you trolling him. I think that you know what you're doing, right? And you're going to drag him to the depths of hell for how he's treated Brittany and every woman in his life. So this is Jessica, allegedly. It's according to Reality Blurb, all the people. According to a report, a recent source identified the mystery woman spotted with Jax Taylor ahead of the season 2 premiere of The Valley. As Jax is terrified of fans watching his unforgivable behavior, you should be more terrified that you're a terrifying person and not what we think of you, asshole. Here she is, according to Us Weekly. Jax, 45. He's really 65. Don't believe the lies. Okay. That's some right-wing conspiracy. I don't know what that is, but it's something's going on. Okay. It's propaganda. He's 65 years old. Was seen getting groceries in Los Angeles with an unidentified woman a day before the season 2 premiere. Now, an insider told the outfit the woman is Jessica Pexon, an esthetician. Okay. Jax has been casually, what if she's injecting him with wrinkles? That would be amazing. Jax has been casually dating, which is just banging, Jessica for a while. But Jax isn't exclusive to anyone. No shit. He never has been. I don't think he's ever been. Said the source. He's Jax. He's definitely just not a one woman in the picture. There's definitely not just one woman in the picture. Okay. An insider alleged that Jessica messaged multiple stars from Vanderpump Rules to offer free facials. Stop. Are you okay, teddy bear? You got itchies? Oh my God. Stop. She was offering free facials. She jizzed on Jax's face. Jax was like, free facials? I'm in. Okay? I like a little spermination on my skin. So she was just out there spamming the Vanderpump Rules, and Jax is like, can I put my dick in it? Like, what? Oh my gosh. She's since been out with Jax on several occasions. That's one way to promote your business. Around the same time in an interview, The Sun, an interview for The Sun, a source claimed that Jax is terrified. We don't care about that. Jax has been trying to rally his Vanderpump and Valley co-stars to his side these past few weeks. So they are publicly supportive of him. When the season airs, said, I'm going to side-eye everyone that's publicly supportive of this monster. He knows what's coming for him is so bad, or is bad, worse than anything he's ever done. And Jax is fucking terrified. I just heard that you threw the coffee table, and I already hate you. So, I mean, I guess all we can go is lower into the depths of hell. He's effing terrified of fans, and you should be. Whatever fans think they're going to see, his behavior is worse. Oh my God, just fire him. Why do we even have to see it? Like, literally exile him to an island, or like you guys were saying, to Romania, sorry, Romanians, with Andrew Tate, and they can just go sex traffic each other in prison. Thank you. And most of it is caught on camera. All right. The rest is talked about. Oh, geez. Wow. Way to give us a great season. A lot of viewers will never forgive him. Yeah, I already don't. For his behavior, and he knows that. Jeez Louise. He's pulling out all the stops to save his career. Yep. And he's in panic mode. Yep, we've seen that. At this point, it's basically turned into girls versus boys. Again, men, we talked about this yesterday. We need you. Okay? Men look for the approval of other men. Misogynist, abusive assholes like Jax need to be checked by men. They need men to tell them, with this behavior and you doing this, I will not befriend you. I will not be around you. I will not stand up for you. They need to be iced out. That is the only chance at real change that men like this have. Not by going, he needs a friend by him. No, he doesn't. He needs men to call him out on his bullshit and protect women and children. That's what he needs. That's what we need. It doesn't help for him just to go to therapy or for women to do it because he doesn't give a fuck what women say. He doesn't give a fuck what therapists say. He needs men who he's looking for the approval of, his friends, his coworkers, his family, to check his ass, call him out, and ice him out until the behavior changes. That's what you have to do. It's on you now. Okay, so Schwartz, what you're doing is enabling him. You got to lay it out, Schwartz, but I know you're not man enough to do that. So here we are. All right. So at this point, it's basically girls versus boys. Welcome to the world. With some of the men taking Jax's side. Whoever is, you're garbage. And you should not get any vagina or love in the club or in your pants the rest of your life. But all of the women supporting Brittany. Yeah. On April 14th, Brittany told Us Weekly that her situation with Jax is bleak. Okay, we know that. Things are a lot worse than people think. Just the controlling aspect of everything, wanting to know where I'm at, what I'm doing 24/7. Again, this is a dangerous man. So fellow men and men in his life, it's on you now. If something happens, you have to sleep with that at night. Like, this is very dangerous. Oh my God, I hate this guy. So he's just stalking, harassing, controlling her. They're going to be like, wow, she went through all of this. And just because he's trying to be a better person, he's not trying to be a better person. It's all lip service. We know that. Doesn't mean it's actually better. We know that. Brittany told us, we believe her. We don't believe him. And so hopefully this woman is injecting him with wrinkles or something. Jessica Paxson, who just hit up the DMs and was like, who wants a facial? And Jax is like, me. Oh my God. Leslie says men need other men to call them out. That's the only way this all changes. Exactly. We know. Now, the evidence is out there. The proof is out there that they don't give a shit what women say. They don't give a shit in therapy. It literally takes other men calling them out because they're looking for the acceptance and the approval of other men. So it's on you now. You can't be complicit. You can't be like, he's my friend. No. You got to call his ass out and ice him out if he is not, if he's not going to change. So NYC says, call the hubs. Being women is, yes, like Hype Man Husband Child said, being a woman is political. That's just how it is, okay, in this world. Don't be a Nick Vial. Don't be like, well, I'm not done you doing better. And make jokes about having a threesome with a problematic man and his current girlfriend. Be a man that stands up and says, no, bitch, stop doing this shit. Hold him accountable. Don't protect him. Bauer Power, thank you for the super chat. Bauer Power says, a wild missed opportunity by Bravo to not put the Vander boys in therapy for a season of like Charm School. Remember the Charm School with Monique back in the day? But a like therapy school with the guys of Bravo. Yes, for our viewing pleasure. We have earned it. Where you can just break them down. And then they have, visits from the men in their life that they're seeking approval from. Just calling their asses out. Amazing. Amazing. Do you think Jax's therapist is a woman? I would say yes, because he's probably trying to fuck her. But I would also say probably a man, because he only respects what men say. But he's still not going to listen or change, because there's no stakes. There's nothing that's really going to change in his life. He'll still be able to hook up with women. He'll still have guys, his guy friends. He'll still have business opportunities and Bravo opportunities. So, I mean, Jax told us, he already said, I've been able to get away with this for so long because people let me. And there were no consequences. And he was able to lie, cheat, and steal and manipulate and say, I'm a work in progress, and do nothing. The barest of minerals. Shout out to Bare Minerals. But the bare minimum, the barest of minimums, not minerals, but shout out to Bare Minerals. And get away with it and keep doing this. And now it has gotten to a point where it's so big and it's so serious. It's not just stealing sunglasses. It's not just having sex with his friend's girlfriend while they watch Drive and the friend is sleeping in another room. He's a full-blown abusive asshole. And it's the monster that they just allowed to keep growing. And look where we're at now, right? Yes, Mr. Human. Jax is a total flop. Right? Tracy says, and guys like Jax don't respect or like women. They can walk all over. Yeah, they don't like women, period. And a woman that would stand up for them, or stand up to them, I should say, she's a bitch. They would shit on and they would stay far away from. Okay. Speaking of, the last thing we have to talk about today is, you guys, Joe Wenberg. Schwartz is stalker. It's what he deserves. Okay. Shout out to Joe Wenberg. She is still talking about Tom Schwartz. Okay. So let's see. Reality blurb again. Joe Wenberg talks a lack of closure from Tom Schwartz. Being blocked by him. I mean, this happened a long time ago. And hints that people were in his ear during their relationship. Because again, this is so Kyle Richards coded. Instead of blaming the guy, it's everyone around him. It's like he wanted to. It's the same way I'm so frustrated with Kyle. I haven't even talked about it yet. About how she wants to. It's not Mo's fault. Mo's not the cheater. Mo's not the one out there, he's, separated. And according to Kathy Hilton, it seems like he didn't stop dating while he was married. So why should, he hide who he's dating now that he's separated? But Kyle was like, Mo wouldn't put this on Front Street. It's the women. Kyle always wants to blame the other women. These women owe you nothing. You are separated from this man. So if a woman wants to date him and maybe wants to call the paparazzi, that's her business. But we know that that's not what happened, Kyle. But Kyle's like, Mo would respect the family. Huh? He's out there dating like fetus women young enough to be his daughter. And apparently he's not new to this whole cheating thing. But she's like, no, Mo, instead of just like, that was your husband. Mo owes you everything. These random women don't owe you shit. Just Kyle. I've just had it with Kyle at this point. But back to the Jonas. She can't blame Schwartz. It was people in his ear. And I think there is she even did a Q&A, and I'm like, oh my God. This was cringier than Katy Perry going to space. And that was, I thought, the cringiest thing that I had seen. Where is the Joe Wenberg video here? Oh, you know what? I think I screen recorded it, and that's how I wanted to play it for you guys. Oh, so Joe's like, ask me anything. Whenever someone posts, ask me anything, they want to spill some tea or they don't want to pay the copay for their therapy. Whenever a celebrity does that in their Instagram, they want to spill some tea or they want to vent. And they want to get messy. And that was Joe Stalker Wenberg. Okay. She's got a bob now. And she's like, Jerry Blank, I got something to say. Okay, let me pull this up. And we can listen to that. And then we'll wrap it up. Okay. How long have I been blabbing? Okay, we gotta watch this and then wrap it. Oh, jeez. Come on, Joe. Where'd you go? There she is. Smash that like if you haven't already, you guys. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, maybe this will work. I don't know. Oh, here we go. Okay, hopefully you guys are going to be able to hear the audio when I share this. Tell me what you think of this. Okay. Is this Joe? To share audio, share a tab and what? Are you guys going to be able to hear the audio on this? I wonder. Put a thumbs up in the chat if you can hear the audio on this.
And then the last one I'm going to say is, I don't know why it didn't pop up, but somebody asked me that were in his ear about potentially, I don't know.
Okay, I don't know what's going on, so I'll just play the audio through my phone. You guys, I think it's, I don't know why you could hear it and then you couldn't hear it. Apologies for that. Oh, no. Okay, hopefully I didn't delete it on my phone. Did I? I deleted it. Damn you. Damn you. Okay, so I'll tell you what she says. You ready? She talks about T-Money. All right. So people asking Joe, did you see that Tom is single? And do you and Tom still talk? And she's like, oh, thank you for that question, which she asked herself, I'm pretty sure.
And then the last one I'm going to say is, I don't know why it didn't pop up, but somebody asked me, did you see
She's saying that someone asked her this, but let's be real.
Tom is single? And then I got a lot of the questions that were like, do you and Tom Schwartz, T-Money still talk?
Do you and Tom Schwartz, do you and T-Money still talk? Ugh, ma'am, nobody wants to know that, but here we are.
We don't, but...
She says, we don't. And we know that because he blocked you. And I'm pretty sure he's like 2 seconds away from a protective order, allegedly.
I think people come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime.
She says, I think people come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. Oh my God. All right. Well, the season's over. Okay. It's like winter, spring, summer, or fall. All you got to do is stalk and he won't be there. No, no, no. He's blocked you. Like he blocked you. And Schwartz sucks. Let it go.
And I also think that, well, I'll be very blunt. I think
She said, I also think that I'll be very blunt. Oh, please, Joe, tell us.
there were people
that were
in his ear
about potentially. Yeah, it wasn't Schwartz deciding not to be with you. He wants to be with you. It's like Romeo and Juliet, Capulets and Montagues. You wish that you could be together, but alas, your families are mortal enemies, like Kristen Doty says. And she's like, I just like she's spilling some like real special tea.
I don't know. I think that at the end of the day,
she's like, I don't know. Once people start saying at the end of the day, they have no point. They have no points. They've lost all the words. They're trying to think of something. At the end of the day,
we were happy.
At the end of the day, they were happy, you guys. They were very happy. She was so happy squatting in his apartment. Yeah, she was super happy about it. And now she's like, ugh, what am I going to do?
Being in the industry
but he was in the industry for so long, and the industry is so mean, and it really breaks up true love. Okay, and come on.
long,
Now it's pausing. Get to the point. And it's a warped world where you kind of back off from something. They don't want real love. They want fake love. Ay, ay, ay. Joe, why aren't you talking anymore? Okay. But I hope you guys definitely do see, she says, how happy we were. Ma'am, nobody cares. It's still hard for her. And you were so what? You dated for like months. What are you talking about? Maybe a year. He was married to Katie for a grip. Get a grip. I hope you guys see how happy we were. I don't care. Nobody cares. No one asked this question. You asked it to yourself.
So I'm human.
Yeah, you're human. Great. Awesome. Oh my goodness.
And then you don't really work through things. And warped world where you kind of back off from something that's happy, and then
so he's in a warped world where you kind of back off from something that's happy. She made him too happy. Joe is like that girlfriend you just shake and you're like, he's not into you. He's a fucking monster. No, he's only blocked me and won't talk to me. And his mom has a restraining order out against me because they're just a family that doesn't know what real love looks like. Okay, I can get through to him. And you're like, no.
Really work through things, and I'll never have an answer because
she'll never have. The answer is he blocked you. The answer is he's not into you. He used you to get back at Katie or whatever's going on for some sexies, and you used him to squat because you needed a place to stay, and you guys just had like dirty sex where you didn't shower and you wore basketball shorts and you had sex through the basketball shorts. I don't know. Okay. And you walk dogs and you guys put your dirty feet in his bed, probably in dirty sheets, allegedly, for jokes.
he's blocked me and everything. So
he blocked you. She just said, and he blocked me on everything. There's your answer. That's all the closure I would need. How about you guys?
But I hope you guys definitely do.
But I hope you guys definitely do see
how happy we were.
How happy I don't. And I don't care. It was weird. And you guys were drunk. And you're both from the Midwest. And you thought you could bond over Miller High Life or Mick Golden Light or Leinenkugels. And that doesn't make a long-lasting relationship. Or cheese. Or cows. Or the Vikings. Or the Packers.
It's still hard for me.
It's still hard for her.
Oh, I'm
it's still hard for me too to keep hearing about this. She's human and she's a victim. Joe, we're done here. We're not doing this anymore, Joe. It's done. Chickenhead, thank you for the super chat. Joe or Chickenhead says, how long ago did they break up? Yeah, it's been a long time. Okay, Kaylee. I'm Joe. You're Kaylee. I'm Joleen. Your name is Kaylee. Okay, quit ruining the perfectly good name. Oh my gosh. Okay. NYC, thank you for the super chat. Said, what happened to the caftan, Kyle? Right? Courtesy of Tom. What happened? Thank you for the super chat. Chickenhead says, she was never taught in life. Sometimes it's time to move on. Ay, ay, ay. This lady, my God. That is like, what? Schwartz, if you're seeing this, you deserve it. All right. You guys are wonderful, beautiful pumpkin spice babies. I appreciate every single one of you. Shout out to all my super chatters, everyone in the live chat. Don't forget to comment on this video. I want to know all of your thoughts regarding the Valley. Tomorrow, we'll be taking a look at the 7-minute preview for next week's episode. Hey, Dave Dog. Hi, Teddy Bear. And we will roast that, you guys. And yeah, because that's what we do. We're critical. We're critical thinkers and roasters.
Oh, she thinks I'm too critical. That's another fault of hers.
Exactly. Anyone who says you're too critical, that's another fault of theirs. And always remember to follow your dreams and not your boyfriends.
P.S. Follow your dreams, not your boyfriends.
And always remember, it's not about the pasta. And enjoy yourself. It's later than you think. Bye.
James, I literally said that Raquel said, do you want some of my pasta? And it was devoured by
about the damn pasta. Get out of here. You've always been a bitch so much, Raquel.
Are you really saying that? Because I told you I ate her pasta.
Honey, you the fat man because he pays for your rent.
Stop. You know what? You can't say whatever the you want. Learn your place, mother. or else you're gonna learn real goddamn quick when you look next to you and I'm not there anymore. And you're gonna be real f***ing upset. So know how to talk to somebody when they're your friend. I'm out. I told you that I ate Raquel's pasta, and that's how you come for me?
Hey, it was like
what the f*** is wrong with you?
It was a dick.
What the f*** is wrong with you?
Dick.
It was a joke. Stop coming for people who have your f***ing back. I told you I had a bite of her pasta, and then the whole thing was devoured, and that's why you go
Why is
off
it about
on.
the damn pasta? Get over the damn pasta. Read between the f***ing line. It ain't about the pasta. It's not about the pasta.